So finally, after much anticipation, the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight is upon us tonight. I mean, really, it's tomorrow morning, isn't it? It's fucking 4 a.m, I think, by the time the fighters will be entering the ring, although I think the broadcast on Netflix starts at 1 a.m, something like that. I'm talking, UK time here. And I said to my mate Adam, actually, we were talking about this earlier on, I think to a degree the time for commentary is over, although I couldn't resist making this video because I haven't thought about it yet. And I think there is something that I haven't said about this. But I don't think it's something that's necessarily controversial. By the way, I'm trying this for the first time. This is Tennessee Fire by Jack Daniels. It's a cinnamon spice liqueur from the makers of Jack Daniels. Let's give that a go, and then I'll talk about the fight. So let's see what we've got going on here. Not exactly a full, not comprehensive review, but let's see what it is. Oh, it's Christmassy. Yeah. That tastes like Christmas pudding. Quite like that. Anyway, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I think as many commentators have said, if Jake Paul wins, he doesn't win because he's winning against a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, not Mike Tyson in his prime. He's beating up on a granddad. So he doesn't win even if he wins. And if he loses big because he's been beaten up by a granddad. And if he wants to be taken seriously as a professional fighter, then he has to take on fighters his own age and those that are going through the normal channels, right, to win a belt. That's all being said. Here's my position on it though, because there's this sort of bifurcation in opinion about the whole thing. Like on the one hand, you got Eddie Hearn saying he fucking hates the idea of his hero, and my hero too, to be honest. But his hero, Mike Tyson, so far beyond his prime, getting back in the ring and potentially being exposed to injury. He thinks it's disgusting as a spectacle and he doesn't want any part of it. But then on the other hand, you've got people like Joe Rogan. His opinions about martial arts, I think, should be taken seriously because he fucking knows what he's talking about. And his opinion is, look, I don't care who Jake Paul thinks he is, but you get into the ring with Iron Mike fucking Tyson, even at age 58, it's still Iron Mike. He's a fucking animal and he'll rip your head off. And my thing is this. My thing is that these are two adult men who want to get in the ring to fight, and we should let them do that. Whether the motivation be money, which I think it undoubtedly is in the case of Jake Paul, money and clout and fame and audience and reach. Whether in the case of Mike Tyson is probably something different, maybe perhaps to right some of the mistakes he made towards the end of his career when he fell off. He was at one point the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, but also the undisputed greatest. He was knocking, of the 44 knockouts of his career, 22 of the knockouts out of his 44 came within the first fucking round. And then towards the end of his career, the last couple of fights were not that great. He was being fucking beaten by people that should never have beaten him. But that's because he took his eye off the prize. He wasn't as hungry for it. He was doing a lot of drinking drugs at the time. His head wasn't in the game. And I think for him, he's gone through this sort of evolution as a human being, as we all do. And I think for him, this is a time to right some of those wrongs towards the end of his career that he feels he left unfinished. And I think we should let these men do that in the ring. And if you look at the odds, I think Paddy Power had them last time I checked, 50-1 to Mike and 30-1 to Jake. It's not like anybody really knows one way or the other. It's like, it's not a foregone conclusion, I would suggest. They come into the ring with very different sets of advantages and disadvantages. And I, for one, will be very interested to see what happens. Of course, like every other motherfucker on the planet, I'm hoping that Mike Tyson knocks Jake Paul's head off, because that's the only win we can get from the night. But I think that even if Mike loses, even if age has taken its toll in the way that many people, including Eddie Hearn and others, think that it has, he's still Iron Mike. And the fact that he even gloved up, at 58 years old and got back in the ring says it all. Because how many other fighters of that era would have the fucking cojones to even do that? So good luck to both fighters. I'll be watching with interest this evening to see what happens, as will hundreds of millions of people around the world, no doubt. It'll be very good for Netflix, and they deserve their payday anyway for having the balls to get in the ring with each other. But good luck to both fighters. I hope that nobody gets injured. I'm rooting for Mike, but I totally understand the psychology why both fighters want to get involved. And I hope that Joe is right and that Eddie is wrong. Anyway, that's it. Adios.